All right, I'm being joined, ladies and gentlemen, from Europe by Metro Nikon. A pleasure to have you, sir.
Hey, thank you very much, Comrade Chris, for having me once again here. And I'm glad to sing my able brother Shade Seventh. So I'm very, very happy to hear him give good information coming back from Ground Zero. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me start with you. You listened to my monologue, and if you have not heard it yet, you listen to what transpired in the Yaoundé. For a man who is not able to understand what is going on at his own inauguration, how can anybody try to convince others that Paul Biya is in charge of Cameroon? Is the president of Cameroon?
Thank you very much, Comrade Chris, once again. Look, I watched through the entire swearing-in ceremony. I where I felt pity was for Southern Cameroonian in that hall, people of Southern Cameroon origin who are around Paul Biya's regime, the so-called elite, and I wasn't expecting anything surprise because taking into account that Biya is almost 93 years, any surprises were not going to be surprise anymore. And CRTV have this expert that they have trained them in diverting the attention of anything that could capture some surprising images or shocking or disgraceful to the entire world. So it wasn't anything surprise to me, but I felt very bad. I developed headache. I took think 2,000 milligram paracetamol from just headache after seeing those who claim that they are elites from the southern Cameroon in the Biya region. These are the people killing our people. These are the people that I think there should be a strategy to go after them individually because they are the one giving the regime the right to keep killing our people. So it
Now,
wasn't anything surprising to
hold
me.
on there, comrade. Let me clarify this. What you are looking at there, you are looking at the presidency in Etude. That was after the swearing-in ceremony. You can find the American ambassador there, and the dignitaries all line up at the presidency in Etude for the inaugural ceremony. I want to bring perspective to the images people are watching there. Go on, please.
Yeah, yeah. Look, all these diplomats, all these dignitaries, look, they are just out there for their interests, Comrade Chris. Okay, if you read through the letter signed by the Congress in regard this Bia's re-election and fraudulent activities, all of what he has been doing in that country, this diplomat don't deserve to be there. I'm shocked to see even the American ambassador there. Whereas his Congress is giving a very, very bitter report against the Biya regime. So to me, it wasn't anything surprise, but we are also feel disappointed with the Chiromaniac, as I call it, Chiromaniac. I think Chiroma knew that this was going to happen. I'm disappointed with Mr. Chiroma because he could have taken the advantage, get himself sworn in prior to today, or even earlier today, since if he wants to take it from the date of the mandate of the or the expiration of his Biafra mandate, he could have sworn in himself earliest today and released out the video. Now he instead called a boycott or ghost towns prior to the ceremony or the inauguration, and on the day of the inauguration itself, people were free to roaming around. He could have instead called the ghost town on the day we are supposed to be sworn in. Let them be dead towns, dead cities, and that will send a very powerful signal outside. Instead, Chiroma did the opposite. He opened the door on the day of the dancing Janji in Yaoundé. So how is that saving him? Until today, one other thing is a Comrade Chris. I think our people should not count so much on Chiroma. Please, let's not develop some extra high blood as a result of Chiroma's promise to talk with the Southern Cameroon ambassador and release our prisoners. Look, we only have to redouble our effort in everything we've been doing. Yes, there is some relative kind of calmness in our cities right now. We only need to reinforce ourselves, strategize, and be ready for the bigger battle. Whether it be if you listen to what Bia was saying today, he's still describing certain Cameroonian liberation fighters as terrorists. How can you be describing people that you've been unable to beat them for 9 years, 9 good years? And there I doff my cap to all the liberation fighters, our fellow citizens who have gone through, through tremendous sacrifices, all the challenges that they have gone through. We thank you very much, our fellow citizens, for all the challenges, all the endurance, all the suffering. But it is not in vain, because we are getting there and we will get there. There's nothing that will stop us. We are already there. Let them put Paul Biya in power for another. We don't care whether he lives forever. But the only thing is, let's not count so much on Tchiroma, because we keep counting so much on Tchiroma and Tchiroma doesn't deliver. Then we will now be slacking down, demobilize. Our spirit will be killed down. So we don't want that to happen to our people and our fighters. So let's keep mobilizing our people, sensitizing them, supporting them, encouraging them, and then be more ready to even take a more aggressive fight ahead. This is what I can say for now.
Let me turn to uh, Mike Fusi, who has joined us to get, I don't know if whether he listened to my monologue, and I would like to get his take on what transpired in the Yaoundé today at the swearing in of Paul Biya. When we get back to the Tchiroma factor, Metro Necom. So let's hold on to that. We are going to get onto that. Mike Fusi, good to have you.
Good afternoon, Comrade Chris. I hope my network is better today. Yes, as you already asked, it was painful watching Paul Biya today disgrace himself yet again for the, I don't know how many times now, we've lost count. But when I watched the scene today, first of all, starting with the voice of the speaker, the voice of the Speaker of the House of Assembly reminded me of something borrowed from a horror movie. It reminded me of the kind of movies you see during Halloween here in the US, where there are ghosts and stuff like that roaming the place. It was so agonizing. It was something like coming from a ghost. Then came Paul Biya. First of all, Comrade Chris, I have to take you back to Paul Biya's appearances and disappearances from these events. You don't see Paul Biya walking up to the stage or to his seat. Everything that concerns Paul Biya's appearance and disappearance from a scene is well choreographed.
That's what I mentioned in the
Well
monologue, that CRTV made sure they shifted the cameras away when the judge was asking him to stand up and to raise his hand.
Yes, you don't see him walking up to the stage. You don't see him walking off the stage. You just see him there as if he's appeared like some kind of spirit,
like a ghost.
To where he's now standing or sitting. And after that, don't see him walking away from it. Everything is so choreographed to present a false sense of normalcy, but you can clearly see that this man is not there. The man is not there. And Comrade Chris, let me just tell you this. If you want to know exactly what was happening in the room, all you needed was to read the faces of those that were in that room like a mirror, and you know exactly what's going on. You could see the horror in their eyes, their faces. It was like watching something horrible happening.
Very correct.
There was no joy in the eyes of those who were watching Paul Biya when those questions that his aide was asking, the interaction between Paul Biya and the aide. You can see the pain in the eyes of those who were watching. See, look at this guy. You could see the pain.
Voici venu.
They could not believe that they're actually seeing what they were seeing. That is all you needed to see. Despite the fact that the cameras had cut away this horror scene, this horror movie that was being put on live television, though they decided that we shouldn't see it all through. but it was just a horror movie from start to finish. So, with regards to that, Comrade Chris and our viewers, I have to say this. There are three individuals and others around Paul Biya who ought, in a country of law, where elders are protected from abuse, these people ought to be arrested and charged with elder abuse. I am here referring to Ungongo, I'm referring to Shantabia, I'm referring to Atanji, and all of the other crooks around Pobia. These people should be arrested and charged with adult or elder abuse because Pobia is now being tormented. The man is being tortured. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what he is doing. He doesn't know, he cannot recognize the people around him. And yet, I don't know how they even manage to make him pronounce some of the words that he pronounces. But it is just as much as I don't feel sorry for him, but it is just so pathetic. It is pathetic and it is not fair to see someone of that age being pushed around and made to do things that he doesn't even know anything about. It is sad.
It is. Shay Tata, give us your thought. You are quite close to the point of the event. Give us your thought on what you see happening there in La République du Cameroon.
Thank you once more, Comrade Chris, for having me and saying hello to all the televiewers on ABSTV. I want to extend my greetings to Maitre and to Mike Fossey. And before I extend my thoughts, I want to also express my dissatisfaction to Mike Fossey. Something I have been having for the past, I think, maybe 3 years since you led the IG, Comrade Chris. There was a program that Mike Fossey launched, which was a kind of a motivation program. I think I've forgotten the name of that program where they used to provide
the war
trophies
zone.
In the war. Yeah, the war zone. But then he had a project where he promised to provide trophies to fighters that performed well in a month or something like that. Am I right?
Okay.
You remember he used the winner went home with about, I think, 1 million amber or something like that. And I think the expendables they won. And then
it was bonus trophy.
What was it?
I think bonus trophy. I remember. I think. Yeah. Fighters award bonus. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he has forgotten, but the point is, why I'm disappointed in him is that was the time we were trying to build up the Unity Warriors, and at the time we became very strong and we started defeating all the battles where it came to the point we were winning these trophies. He stopped the program. So by this, I'm telling the whole world to know that Mike Fossey owes the Unity Warriors at least 5 trophies, then we can make peace. Back to the event of today, I want to take my starting point, the premise from what Maitre said about being sorry for did he call them Anglophones elites or Southern Cameroon's elites? I think what I first saw, there were 2 things that I took from there, but there was one particular one that gave me belly bite. The first of all was the journalist, the English journalist, this guy called Ashu Nienti. If you listen to all his comments, they were only provocative comments. It was like out to challenge, and that is not what an inauguration is all about. He said all nasty things like, we already know him, we know the kind of things he says because he wants to get his money, he wants to get paid for all those things, singing praises, like adoring Biya, like a demigod or a god himself. But one thing, if you notice at the start of the event, when the Speaker of the National Assembly it was even the President himself, when he took the floor to give his inaugural speech, He read the names of all the leaders, the protocol, starting from the National Assembly, the Vice President, the Council. If you notice, you will see that the PM was left out. He didn't mention about the PM, who was sitting right there in front of him. And that is where I am saying that if Maitre is feeling sorry for the Southern Cameroonian elites that were there, or the so-called Anglophones, I feel disgusted. Because even at that, imagine an event like that, the only English word which you heard was the I do so swear, which to me was like being paid off. And that was like you heard Eric Chingy, or no, sorry, Tibo Nash in your previous program, where he said he is amazed at the fact that Tchiroma speaks English. But even an event like this, sometimes somebody gives a summary in English. We are not saying because of Ambazonia, no, because of what Tibo Nash said, that there are some English-speaking people in their country. But that is just to show you, sometimes these people, they divide the country and then claim to accuse other people for separating the country when they themselves have already done it. Now, looking at what happened after the event, because I don't want to repeat what the other speakers have already said, if you saw the event, that handful crowd that was available was only the one that was placed immediately after the conference call. And those were the CPDM people who came with their garments and so on. Normally, an event like this, CRTV will even show people on the street celebrating for a president that they all voted for. So you will know that this was just that handpicked, the few people that are staging, they are ruling that country, as Mike Fossey says, especially Ngongo, Atanga Inji, Shantai, and so on. So this is what I picked up. I picked up two things. The fact that the Prime Minister was sidelined, showing that he's not part of that country. They're only using him as a figurehead. And just what you already explained in your monologue, where Biya played the same game he played 3-4 years ago in Washington, D.C.
Maitre, you come in there, future in there, give us what you think.
Shade 77, you are very, very, very correct in your analysis, Yes, I think I will need to contact you from behind the scenes so that we work on something. And then we have to remind Mr. Mike Fusi to rekindle that program again, because it was a very, very strong motivational incentive to the liberation fighters. So I think that is something we have to work upon. Yeah, like you said again, my fellow comrade Sheridan. Look, in that, if you look at the faces on all those people who sat in that hall, they were expecting anything could happen. Nobody was in their peaceful state of mind. Their faces could tell you that at any moment, maybe anything can happen with the Biya, or any disgraceful kind of step could happen. But I think Biya navigated along and successfully finished through the entire thing, except that he's like, say, I'll take it back, all those time on that level. The rest, I think it was all a sham. A sham. And now, look, the days ahead are things that we want to know. What next now? That's the only question that I think, since we've said that, we'll come back to the Tchiroma topic later on, Comrade Chris. I think that's where I would like to know exactly what the Tchiroma team is thinking, because I think I can see some very big signs that we are going to be disappointed again, because we will focus so much on Tchiroma, expecting that he might do the miraculous thing. And I don't think I see it coming anyway soon. So for now, let's watch and see.
Yeah, of course, nobody can sit here and make promises of what Tchiroma plans to do, other than words coming from him himself, that he stands ready to launch the fight. But let's delve into that right away. the expectations of people on the ground and even in the diaspora is to see him declare himself president, get inaugurated. Those are the expectations that people expect from him. And again, as I said, I spoke with him. I spoke with Tchiroma directly before coming live this evening. We had a chat for like 3 minutes before I came live, and I asked him about his security. I asked him about the expectations that people have out here for his swearing in, and he said they are putting the logistics together. They are putting all the logistics together. That was what came out from his own mouth directly to me, probably about an hour or 2 hours ago. Uh, to me, I understand putting the logistics together means trying to figure out what happens then if he should be sworn in as president. So I think to me it makes sense, but that is not to say that is what it is all about. I would like to hear from you guys what you think these logistics could be and what it means. Mike Fusi, I'll start from you.
Well, I think top on the list of what the expectations or logistics that he is talking about should be, top on the list is his security. They have to make sure that wherever this event will take place is properly secured, because they know La Republic will put everything in place to make sure that they can zoom in and make as big a catch as they can. If they can round up everyone at that event, that would be something for them to brag about. And as I've said before, the worst thing Tchiroma can do at this time is to allow himself to be taken in by Cameroon. That will be the end of it, because they will want to portray him in the most humiliating situation, just to bring his image down and discourage his followers. So top on the list is his security. Secondly, they have to make sure that they capture the event in a manner that portrays some authority, that portrays someone in command, and make sure that they now have the means to disseminate whatever images will come out of such a ceremony. But I would have thought that Tchiroma would have taken some time to do this, plan this much sooner than now. But I know he's walking through some very difficult situations where maybe some plans are being shifted at the last minute due to information coming in about maybe previous environments being compromised. But all in all, the swearing in is just one thing. My take is this: besides the swearing in, one thing that Tchiroma, if he had not done already, should be doing is putting in place a system that will allow himself to defend his victory. He must be able to defend his victory. I'm not talking by just diplomacy. I'm talking here, what is important here is having some backbone in the terms of a military backing that can guarantee him being able to defend his victory. Because let's be clear about this. These people who have taken hold of Yaoundé are not going to simply walk away because Tchiroma was sworn in as president of La Republic. That's not going to happen. These people will have to be compelled to leave. It is not going to happen because some diplomat wrote some letter and said, oh, we now recognize Tchiroma. It's not going to happen. These people will have to be chased out of there. And the only way to do it is by some military might. Tchiroma, if he does not have that, let me say it here, if he doesn't have that, he should stop bothering people, because nothing will happen. If he has not taken the time to put in place his own mechanism, military mechanism to defend his victory, he should stop making noise and leave people alone. That's what I have to say here. So that is what I have to say as far as the swearing in is concerned. It is just a ceremony, but there's a lot more he needs to do if he wants to be president of La Republic of Cameroon.
Uh, uh, Comrade Tata, do you understand that a lot of logistics needed to put in place for somebody, I don't know whether you can hear me. Okay.
5 on 5.
A lot of work needed, a lot of planning needed to put in place for somebody who wants to declare himself president of a country. Of course, we know the population is on his side, but the army is not on his side. We can say the army is divided, and so you expect that if anything happens, the only thing the army on his side can do is to maybe protect him and advise him. That entails doing a lot of work before going out to declare yourself or swear in yourself. But the tension on the ground, not hearing from him after the ghost towns that took place Monday through yesterday, I think people, if he doesn't come out and speak immediately, it may turn people off, isn't it?
Thank you, Comrade Chris. And it's a beautiful question. And the issue of turning people off is it's a common phenomenon with the Francophones. I'm sorry to put them in this box, because you see that when it comes to resistance, they don't have it. We have seen that in 92, we have seen that in 2008, and we have even seen in situations where they had all the opportunities to act and they didn't. Now, one thing I want to say is that what I've learned about Cameroon is that there is nothing as rumor in Cameroon. Once you hear something out there, know that they are working on it. And it's either usually sent out to test the temperatures. Now, on the ground, people are beginning to wonder if, this is just food for thought also for the Tchiroma team. People should begin to think whether there is really anything as a loyal military. Because the mafia that we know about Cameroon, these loyal military that may be claiming to protect Tchiroma, might be also there to keep Tchiroma to buy time for them to get what they want to get. I'm saying this because when you look at the world's politics, Metro talked about Western interests. Western interest plays a very major role, very vital role when it comes to exploiting your resources. And the interest of France, as we have always said, that all the French colonies, France is not ready to get rid of them yet. Especially a country like France, like Cameroon, where they have its touch kept there forever. People are of the opinion that France will try to convince America not to interfere in this because of their interests. And as such, France will be able to also defend the American interest elsewhere. Now, people are doubting. There are questions. People are saying that could it not have been a game, some kind of mafia, to have played a game that they wanted to arrest Tchiroma and then help take him out of the scene for a while in order to reduce tension. Now we get news of the fact that he was flown in an helicopter with a country that has a military. How does Tchiroma even get out of the country with all the borders and everything, and then in at the same time without any confrontation? This is just looking at it from the other side. And it's making people to begin to think that this must have been a calculated plan to send some military to claim that they are loyal to Tchiroma and be moving with him up and down so that he can be distracted and think more also about his security, which is more important, as we are saying, while the real game is going on. Because La Republique knows that for so many years, the way you can get to the civilians is by just buying time. And once you buy time and people start getting tired of what is they are supposed to do, they take over. And before you notice, another 7 years is there. So this is something that I am trying to let people think, and that is why it is important to strike the iron while it is still hot. It is true that they didn't plan for this, but the population is on their side. The Tchiroma team, they need to take advantage. I think even if they need to get, if it means finance, this is the moment people are willing with companies to contribute to make sure that the Biya regime gets out. The last thing I want to say before I hand over the floor will be, you also mentioned about part of the reception that took place. Today, the American ambassador sent some congratulatory message, which we read as the United Nations congratulates President Paul Biya on the inauguration. We look forward to continuing our strong partnership with Cameroon to advance shared goals such as regional peace and security and prosperity for both our peoples. If you see, if you read between the lines, you will see that they have not congratulated Biya on the elections win. They have only congratulated him on the inauguration. That is, this statement is pregnant in meaning. Over.
All right, gentlemen. All right, gentlemen. Please, you hold on out there. I have with me Eric Chinje on the line, and Eric Chinje is with Isa Tchiroma as I speak. They are together. Eric, there is a lot of tension on the ground. People are waiting patiently, very patiently, to hear from Isa Tchiroma. You know, he declared a 3-day ghost town. It ended yesterday, and Biya was sworn in today. And Cameroonians are saying, where is Isa Tchiroma? What is going on? Can you explain what is going on that you can behind the scenes, please?
Chris, I hope you can hear me. But I want to reassure you and reassure everyone in that geographical space that I don't know if you can hear me, Chris.
Yes, I can hear you 515.
Fantastic. You know, I want to reassure everyone who's in this battle for the soul of a nation and a people that things may not always happen in human moments.
Okay.
But I can guarantee you the best is coming. I can guarantee you there is the right things are happening as they should. We are not, we cannot build a lie on a lie. We cannot go and have and claim to have a new nation built on the fragile foundations of a lie. That's what happened today in the Republic of Cameroon. A fragile foundation built on a lie is expected to be the source of inspiration for a new nation. It is not going to happen, Chris. So Mr. Tchiroma will be coming out, and he will not be pushed into it. There's a lot of pressure for him to come out and take on the system now as it is, and to ensure that the people's victory is not stolen, and he, the elected leader, is the one who was sworn into office. Let me say this: all of that's not what matters right now. That is not what matters right now. What matters right now is the deliberate, the very intentional steps to allow for this, for the will of the people to be recognized, for a constitution that is meaningful, is respected, and that institutions, time will be taken to put in place institutions that are honorable, credible, respected. All of, Cameroon, we have to rethink Cameroon, and that really is the problem. We have to rethink that country. And part of what you're seeing is the need for new thoughts to inspire what we do in building the new nation. I think everybody, if all goes well, we all will be proud of what comes out of all of this. But if we want to force things through, we may see change, but it may not just be the change we desire. So Mr. Tchiroma is in a good place. He's working with top-notch experts in every field, in all fields. He's in touch with, African and non-African heads of state, and drawing from the experience of a host of countries. And I think what will come out of this will be what every citizen desires. So let me simply say that, invite everyone to stand up and be counted at a time like this. That's what's important. I don't know if you heard all of what I said, but
yeah. As you know, there is lots of impatience out there, being that they haven't heard from him, especially when he was reportedly picked up. And then now Biya is sworn in. When you say things are going to change, how soon are these things going to happen? I guess that's what everybody wants to know out there.
Yes, I know everybody's impatient, but that's understandable. But let me tell you, Chris, wheat set cat. Sorry, Chris. There's an issue with my room.
Okay, I can hear you. Go.
And there's a problem. I need to resolve it and then go and have something to eat. Can I call you in a short while?
All right, that's fine. That is assuming you meet us live. All right, but please go ahead. Take care of what you.
Yes, in half an hour I'll call you, Chris.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, unfortunately, he's a little bit distracted, but you can hear from him again. He is right there with Isa Tchiroma himself, and so what you hear from him is first class. First class information.
If I may come in
My concern is I hear kind of a parabolic narrative. I do not see straight shooting in what I am hearing. Maybe you guys are hearing straight shooting. Let me go to Metro Nicom. Tell me what you think from what you've heard from Eric Chinje.
Yeah. Yes, Comrade Chris, if you can read through the lines, you will hear my take from what Mr. Eric Chinje is saying. It's clearly that Isa Tchiroma is not going to be sworn in. He's going to take some other measures and to counter the regime in some other forms. But what baffles me is this. I think to my fellow Ambazonians, those who've been expecting so much from Tchiroma, I think we should drop the potato now, because nothing will be coming the way we are expecting. As simple as that. One, Tchiroma claimed that he's an insider. He knows the regime in and out. And he wants to take, I don't know which strategy he has intended to use in fighting the dictator. And when we talk about logistics, you think you have to prepare everything step by step to fighting a dictator? Fighting a dictator, you take him by surprise. The greatest surprise Tchiroma could have taken on Biya was first thing, early morning. I thought maybe he wanted to get himself sworn in on the 6th because maybe that's when the mandate of Biya expires, so that the new one starts from there. Else he could have shown himself earlier. But now the 6th of November came and passed. He had even called off the ghost town. Biya'S is sworn in peacefully, or whatever the situation was within the ranks of the CPDM. And now he's recognized, receiving messages of congratulations from left and right. And Tchiroma is still talking about logistics and making things, talking with international leaders. International leaders are going to defend their interests. Tchiroma's momentum is dying, and is dying very, very fast. He had the population, he had people behind him. When we talk about, say, the army, let me come again to what my able comrade Shebetan mentioned, that loyalty of the army. Yes, there are some armies who are very loyal. And when you look within the Cameroonian army, those who originate from the Grand North, that is from Adamawa, Garwa, and Marwa, they can be loyal to somebody from that zone. And they are loyal to Tchiroma because they know this is their time. And so many of them have even come on air to say they feel pity, or they look at this, our fellow citizens, that is Southern Cameroonian and Bazonian, who are in the military, shooting on their own people. They cannot shoot on, they promise not to shoot on their own people. You saw it yourself. When the military went out in their armored cars, people came around. They were talking friendly. But can you see that in Southern Cameroon? When they come, they shoot at random. So now I think we should just leave La Republique de Cameroon alone and Tchiroma. I think he's just playing for time. The next thing right now, what plan? He's going to start making speeches and calling people on the streets. And as brutal as La Republique de Cameroon's army or forces are, they'll kill people. And we still have some of our fellow Southern Cameroonians in La Republique de Cameroon. Recently, a woman from was it from Menchumo was killed in her house, straight bullet in La Republique de Cameroon. So how far is that going to go? So this Chiromania kind of anticipation that almost every ambassador, or they are looking forward to him, that is because he said, I'm going to be, when I'm president, I'm going to release Seko and the Naira 10, we are going for negotiation dialogue, I'm going to, that is just hot talk. Wanted to see action from Mr. Tchiroma, and if it is the first test, I think he has failed. That's all I can say for now. Come please.
Let me ask Mike and Tata, if Tchiroma cannot be sworn in and they still believe they have an option to fight, do you see any option? What are those other options? Because I have heard these things about talking to the international communities, talking to heads of state there, talking to those organizations there. We heard that under Frundi. We heard that under Kamto. It didn't change anything, and Biya perpetuated himself till today. Do you guys by any means see anything different that he can do other than swearing himself to assert himself and stay in, and take over? Fosi.
Yes, Comrade Chris, I was not very impressed with what I was hearing from Eric Chinde there. It sounded to me like a watering down of expectations. You see, it is a watering down of expectations, and I can assure you that that is not good news to the Tchiroma supporters out there. I can assure you there are many of them who will be very, very disappointed by the end of today if Tchiroma is not sworn in. The day is already old in ground zero, first of all. Now, there is something that is said about riding the wave. When you have to ride a wave, you ride the wave when it is high. You don't wait for the wave to collapse, then you try to ride it, then you find yourself flat. You have to ride the wave when the wave is high. That is when you get some movement. That is when you are carried to a higher height. What the Tchiroma campaign has resorted to will not serve them well. And if there's something that they are expecting or they are planning to bring later on, and with the expectation that it will yield some results, it better be something that will be a shock and awe. It must be something that will be a shock and awe that will reinvigorate the anticipation that their supporters had, which will be depleted to a large extent by the end of today. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But I should say, if I were a Tchiroma supporter, I will be very, very unhappy today. Let me say something about this so-called diplomatic community. If Tchiroma is doing this, and as I said before, if he's expecting that his victory will come with some intervention from the diplomatic community, he should better forget it, because it's not going to happen. These people, what they do is they wet their finger, put it up in the air, and see where it feels cold or where the wind is blowing. And that is where they go. Imagine the visuals today. As bad as the imagery may have been from Biya'S so-called swearing in, as bad as those images may have been, you can see one person with people around him with a diplomatic corps, as reluctant as they may have been, present, and with him raising his hand and putting on the Bible and saying, about how low his voice may have been, I do so swear. But on the other hand, there was somebody else who was not there doing that, and nobody knows what he is doing. Now, let me ask you, Comrade Chris, if those who were on the streets for the past days, from when the elections took place or even prior to the elections and up to now, when they decide to go home, feeling maybe disappointed, what do you think will spur them to come out again on the streets? You better have some good reason to compel them to come out again, given the fact that many of them who came out, many of them have been arrested, a good number killed, some of them being pursued. You have to give these people a reason to come out on the streets. And that is what we have always said with these people across the Congo, that they don't know how to resist. They don't know how to withstand difficulties. They don't know how to withstand hardship. They have not been through what we Amazonians have been through for the past 9 years. And this was their moment to prove that they have it in their belly to fight for what they truly believe is the change that they very much need at this time. And we see them again falling flat. We see them again fumbling. We see them faltering and preferring comfort to freedom. And it is sad, it is sad. And let me take this a step further to us Amazonians. That is the more reason why we cannot sit here and expect that we can ever coexist with these people and see freedom. It will never happen. Because even when we lead the way, well, we're opening the path for them to then follow to freedom. They look at us and say, oh, but it's being led by the Anglophones, so we suspect them and we will not follow. Then it becomes difficult to even lead them to freedom. When we are opening the path and say, you just follow and let's go, they still are unwilling to follow. You cannot help, they say you can take a horse to stream, but you can't force it to drink. That's exactly what we are facing with these people. We cannot force them to drink if they don't want to drink. And so the only way for us is to let them be. And we go our way. Let them stay in their pigsty. We cannot help them to be clean if they choose to behave like pigs. Because I don't see how you can allow someone who is visibly confused, does not know where he is asking if he should stand up at his swearing ceremony. It's like somebody at his wedding does not know that that's his wedding day. This was supposed to be Biya'S' wedding day, and he doesn't even know he is a groom. How can you help someone like that? And there are people there who think this is normal, and they're not willing to do what is necessary to get this man to a retirement home. That is what Biya'S needs now more than anything else, a retirement home. But who's going to take him there?
Let me ask you guys, I know, of course, you are not the right persons for an answer, but if Tchiroma goes the way of Frundi, the way of Maurice Kamto, is there any other hope left for that country? Who is going to eject Biya and perhaps Frank Biya and whoever the CPDM puts there if Tchiroma cannot do? Because the people lose hope when they realize they rally behind this guy in so much belief in his ability to fight with his geographical advantage, and he withers away and talk peace. Like, will that dynasty ever be removed from Cameroon, and will Cameroonians ever vote again? John,
I
Tata?
don't see that happening. That will be the end of it. These people will, even after this regime, they will learn from this example and repeat it over and over and over. Continue, comrade.
I think, anyway, we can't rule out everything. I think death is also another means of removing Biya from power. But you will notice that one of the reasons why they wanted Biya to stand as their president is because, first of all, Biya is a household name that everyone in La Republique panics when used. And that is why you see them ruling Cameroon through his name under the high instruction President Biya, hot instruction, or however they call it. And that is why they are using him to rule that country. And the plan is now, the plan which they have now is to buy time to see how they can manipulate the constitution and have that continuity, as you are saying. Now, I want to come back before I continue on it. When we listen to Eric, senior journalist Eric Chindi, I think also I was like, I think I was kind of broken. I saw despair, hopelessness. You know, I felt like he contradicted himself. I think the other day when he called in, I think, I don't remember if it was yesterday when he spoke with you, and you asked him this same question about the role and the links he's having with international communities and heads of states and so on. I remember the answer he gave you was that Cameroonians' problem should be solved by Cameroonians. And today he is contradicting himself. Instead of coming to face the Cameroonians to solve their problem, he is now thinking about talking with other heads of states and non-heads of states. For me, I find this contradictory because normally what our people what the people of Cameroon expected today was they wanted to see Tchiroma being sworn in this morning. And if that didn't happen, they wanted to see him sworn in after.
I don't see it happening anytime soon at this moment. I doubt whether it is going to happen.
If this didn't happen, these people should have at least been addressed. And this is what the people are missing. And I can tell you this is killing the momentum. If we already know about Francophones, those who have been arrested will serve as a lesson to anyone who would dare start to protest, because this is the moment they needed to have acted. And if Eric is coming, Mr. Eric is coming and telling people that they cannot act the way people are and they can't strike the iron when it is still hot, I think they are getting into a riskier journey than what we have had.
I see you smiling there, Metro. Go on.
Yeah. Shade 77. I just said it. You just said it like I did. Look, I said the momentum is dead. Is dead. Look, the moment that Tchiroma could have climbed that ladder and made Cameroon, the Republic of Cameroon, tremble was between today, early morning, and the time they were swearing in for Biya. He fell. And let's take it step by step. The next thing that is going to that Republic of Cameroon is going to implement now is intimidation, rampant arrest, torture, and then scaring of people. Let them back up. And moreover, Tchiroma cannot even call for a ghost town again. Those how many days this guy could not survive. They don't even have food. Food skyrocketing out there in Yaoundé and Douala, and they're even blaming Ambazonians. So
yeah.
Yeah, they are even blaming Ambazonia. The only thing that could come from the groundnut would be that onion or granite and all the kind of stuff there. Maybe Tchiroma will be able to block that from coming down, so that yeah, but that is not enough to shake in the regime in Yaoundé. Even Tchiroma could say, okay, let me come back to one question. Like I mean, the one point that my brother Mike Kusi said, the international community has no interest in whether Cameroonian die or I mean whether Southern Cameroonian die or Ambazonian die. They don't have interest. For how many years they have abandoned us shamelessly, but we have proved to them that we have that stamina and we've shaken that regime. Paul Biya cannot govern Southern Cameroon again ever. Even when you listen through his speech today, he was even still spewing venom, thanking friendly countries for having arrested Ambazonians and locked them up, and is praying
Oh,
for
is that
more
what
to
he
be locked
said? I
up.
didn't hear that.
Come on, he said that he's thanking friendly countries for having arrested these terrorists who are creating havoc problem in his country, and is asking the rest to continue to do more. He was not. I was expecting that maybe Biya or his advisors must have heard that the momentum Tchiroma has gathered right now is because Ambazonians are counting on him that he's going to deliver. Maybe he could have spoken some language of appeasement. Maybe, okay, the days ahead, I'm going to look into how I can release detainees or stuff like that. He went defiant, even describing Ambazonian fighters terrorists, and is going to ask friendly countries to arrest all some of that one still remaining, and is thanking those who are even locked up. And that is what you look at the speech again. But the thing here is this, Comrade Chris, go up, calm down. The only thing I will say here is that we should not count on any miracle coming from Tchiroma. Please, I mean, Southern Cameroonian ambassador, we should not count on any miracle coming from Tchiroma, because Tchiroma has failed already. And then, yes, we tolerated him, not that we like him. We just tolerated him because he came and said this, that I'm going to do this. We didn't like it. Tchiroma, look, thanks to Ambazonian, Tchiroma and Bello have freedom. You see, they have never been thankful to Southern Cameroon for their freedom, but they only came in when they saw that there would be an opportunity for them to cash. We might be speaking now. Do you know how much Tchiroma might have been backed from that from the region? Bello Buba already has backed 1 billion with the Cameroon Libya and all the other Joshua or stuff like that. So we can be speaking here like this diplomacy behind. They will tell Tchiroma, listen, you are 80 something years old, you are sick, you are going to die very soon. Why engage yourself in some fight that can even strain you up? Take this amount of money and keep them cool. And then yeah, we will sort it out with their entire cabinet and stuff like that. Tchiroma will cool down. That's it. So for now, we should not expect anything from Tchiroma. Let's only reinforce our strategy. Each and every one of us, the committed ambassadors who have been doing it, keep doing what you've been doing, thanking our people, mobilizing ourselves, and then looking forward on how we will completely chase these criminals, terrorists out of our homeland and then rebuild. That's what I can only advise our people to do right now. I
Uh,
yield for now.
Yeah, talking about that, I think the moment has come for Ambazonia to remobilize, Ambazonians to remobilize. And in that respect, we are inviting every Ambazonian, especially in the diaspora. We have this brainstorming all Ambazonia town hall that is coming up on Saturday. We think that the moment in La République du Cameroon affords us the opportunity to strategize and to see how we can up our game in trying to restore our independence. Because as you are saying, you heard what Biya said. Biya is thanking the international partners for arresting Ambazonian freedom fighters. If Ambazonians do not take that really seriously and think that now things are going to be okay with Biya back there, I think that we are joking. Which is why this all Ambazonia Diaspora Town Hall on Saturday becomes very, very important for every one of you out there. The leaders will not be speaking to you. I guess the leaders want to hear from you what you think should be their priority, their preoccupation at this moment. And I'd like Mike Fossey to speak to the necessity, the urgency of this meeting. Mike?
Yes, Comrade Chris. As you well recall, I think you are one of those that received a lot of calls from our comrades around the world, and they were looking at the situation in La Republic of Cameroon and asking, okay, but what are Ambazonians doing to ensure that we use this opportunity, this fracture that we are seeing in La Republic of Cameroon to secure our freedom once and for all. And then the idea, which again came from those that were calling, is that we create a forum where Ambazonians could come in and brainstorm on the way forward, because it shouldn't seem as if they are being told what to do, or that they are being dictated to. Let the ideas come from the people. Let them read the tea leaves themselves as to what is happening in La Republic of Cameroon. Because many times a lot of good ideas come from people, ordinary people on the streets who see these things, and even those in leadership positions may not see them as clearly as they do. So it is with that in mind that we thought that we should put together this town hall, which is coming up this Saturday. The Zoom link, by the way, will be shared latest tomorrow, so it can be distributed to Ambazonians to come in and be part of this town hall. Share your ideas, share your suggestions. It will be a brainstorming session. That's what we call it, brainstorming. That means we listen, we get your ideas, and of course, we know that a lot of people want to come in and listen to what we're saying, but we'll keep everything general. No details, no sensitive matters will be discussed, but we want to know what ambassadors think. What direction should we be taking at this time? Especially making sure that we are speaking with one voice, that we are putting our resources together, that we are channeling our resources to those of our operatives on the ground who are doing the job that they are supposed to be doing. And to that, I'll go to my comrade, Shea, you are there. I know you have a grudge against me for the best fighters award that we had some time ago. By ending it, we ended it grudgingly because we were no longer able to raise the resources that were needed to meet those requirements. But it was not for lack of interest. It was not for lack of the will. But if there's enough excitement and interest from Ambazonians that they want to be part of it, you can rest assured that we would like to relaunch it at any time. And that is one of the things that we can discuss at Saturday's town hall. So please, I'm here using this opportunity to call on all Ambazonians. This town hall is not organized by any group. It's not organized by any person. It is not group affiliated. It is all Ambazonians. And the CRC, the consultative initiative that was launched some time ago, will be part of it, and a good number of the participants in there will be present, so that you see a broad-based representation of Ambazonians during this town hall, coordinating the activities and collecting these ideas from our Congress. Now, let me say this, Comrade Chris. As we have seen here, a lot of people had been hoping that Tchiroma would be the one to maybe open the way for us to at least have some kind of dialogue. And we see that the regime in Yaoundé is so entrenched. They are so insensitive. They don't care about anybody. All they care about is their survival. They don't even care about their people. You saw the number of their citizens on the streets. They don't give a damn. Like I think it's Metro Nikon was saying, the next thing you will see in the coming days will be complete repression. There will be limited freedom of speech. They will make sure there's a complete crackdown on anyone, limit the number of persons that can gather at a given time. You will see it in the coming days. And La Republic of Cameroon citizens, being what they are, a few of them would dare to come out and challenge these people. So this thing that Tchiroma has done by not coming out today is a grave mistake. So what I'm saying is, we only have ourselves to use to liberate ourselves. Nobody will do it for us. No formerly oppressed people ever found their freedom by waiting for someone to come and do it for them. It doesn't happen. The people always have to rise up and demand their freedom and be determined and resolute to stay the course until it is achieved. And ours will not be any different. If we want to do this thing, we have to do it ourselves. And that is why, again, we must attend this town hall and chart a way forward to take this thing to the finish line, to the finish line. Because even as the situation is in La Republique of Cameroon, it is not as stable as it was prior to the election. La Republique already has several cracks. Let us exploit those cracks to cause it to collapse, or at least to get ourselves to where we want to go. And that is what I have today to say, Chris.
All right. Gentlemen, stay put in there if you can. Let's get to the phones and hear what people are thinking out there, having listened to us and also listened to Eric Chinje from Tchiroma's camp. Before you call, if you want me to pick your call, make sure you turn down the volume of your set. If you call and I pick your call and hear my voice in the background, I won't pick your call. So when you call, stay on your phone, listen to your phone and not your TV. So please get the phone number on the screen. Okay. Let's get the phone numbers on the screen, please. All right. So the line is open. Go ahead. Okay, let's get to the first caller here. Hello.
Hello, good day, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Manfe.
From Manfe? Okay, what is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I've listened to all what people have been saying. Tchiroma, actually the assessment has been very concrete and good. Because depending on him, we have no way forward. In the early hours of the day, so that even if they are blocking their...
I'm sorry, sir. Your network is not good. It is breaking a lot and we can't hear you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Grazero, La Republique.
What is on your mind, sir? What is going on there?
Yes, there is a lot going on here. But there is something that I want to say here. And I have been saying this. It's just that people at times are just being selfish and naive. They don't want to hear from others. When you are doing a particular thing and it's not working, you change the line. I said here a few days ago that if this man is not sworn in, there will be a problem. And not the matter of being sworn in, that is the problem. He is also his word. People need his word. They need his word from people to hear from him. He's not doing that. He's watering down the appetite of the people. And even his man that came there now, that is not how they communicate. He's just telling us how they are planning very weak. The problem is this. we are passing around and we are hearing what people are communicating. Hello?
I'm hearing you. Go on.
Yes, and the people have a positive saying about Tchiroma, but he himself want to kill the appetite of the people by the action he poses. I said on that day, it is better for him to organize the ghost town when they are doing the inauguration than putting the ghost town. Now he organized the ghost town, the people obey. The people have obeyed it because they love him, they love what he wants to do. Now he has gone and hit himself without coming out, without without doing what the people are asking him to do, and he wants to do his own. When the iron is hot, you hit it.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. We got enough. Let's get to the next caller. All right. When you call, you have 30 seconds to make your point. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, hello, Comrade Chris. I think we're having a very, very this is a big disappointment of what is happening in the Republic. You know, as Amazonians, we have a vested interest in what is happening over in that territory. They say justice delayed is justice denied, right?
Absolutely.
This man had I think he's losing the potential is fading off. Okay, and we heard that he was going to proclaim himself as he was going to what? He was going to declare himself as president today.
Yeah, he was sworn in.
And I don't know where he was going to be sworn in. Where did that information come from? Because that is what the Cameroonian people want him to do. When Eric Chinji comes here and say that he's not going to be forced by anyone, I think that's a fundamental mistake.
Well, that sends a signal as to the direction they are thinking, right?
Yeah, the strategy is, I don't see any strategy in there. I don't see any strategy. He himself said in his previous speech that when he contacted Nigeria and the other countries, they said nobody's going to do this for you. So,
yeah. All right.
I don't get the strategy. I just don't get the strategy behind the move.
Let's wait for the next few days and see what they come up with. So, thanks for the call.
All right, thank you.
Hello. Hello. All right. When you call, you have to stay on the phone. Hello.
Yeah, Secretary Chris. Good evening. Good evening. This is Baron from Germany.
Baron from Germany. Okay. What is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything that you have been doing and the panels that you have there. Also, I really appreciate everything that they have been doing. One thing that I think that I would like to contribute, I just want to make it very brief, is I think when we are dealing with a rogue regime like that of La Republique, we know that they have backup both externally and internally. So one really need to take a very, very, very great precaution. The matter there is not for, I think it would have been good if, let's say, Mr. Tchiroma was already inaugurated by yesterday or perhaps early this morning. But the matter, as you just said there also, the thing there is that, as you all just said there now, like that, what comes after the inauguration? Because I think that what Mr. Eric Chinja was saying is that they are trying to make a very good plans with working with some people internally in the government and also externally. So let's just wait, stay put, and let's see what is going to come out. That's all I have.
Yeah, the only mixed up that we have in his statement is when he says Tchiroma will not be forced, to do certain things, as if to say he is essentially being forced to get sworn in. That is the mixed up there. But thanks for the call.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Where are you calling from, sir?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ohio.
All right. And what is your contribution?
Yeah, so pretty much my contribution to this is like I'm saying let's give some grace to Isa Tchiroma Bakari, you know, because it don't take 1 day. They say it didn't take 1 day to build Rome. So let's give him enough time to like put his plans together and put all his eggs in together. So all these things take strategy. You can't just force it and then expect for him to go get sworn in today.
Yeah, but then the question, but then the thing is, he has been sitting on this since October 12th. It's almost a month that he knew the results are rigged. The question is, what was he planning since then, right?
Yes, but I'm saying like right now we on the what's the date of today? Today's the 6th. So I'm saying let's just give him some more time, you know?
Yeah. All right.
I believe this with time, everything will come. Everything he's planning will come out to the world.
All right, absolutely.
Understand what he's doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, Comrade Chris. Good evening.
Good evening. Is it ma'am or sir?
Sir, I'm calling from Ground Zero, Santa, precisely.
Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
Secretary Chris, I guess we should just drop this issue of La Republic of Cameroon and their politicians. These people are just bent to destroy the future of the young people of Cameroonians. Like what we just heard from Mr. Eric Chinji, they have given Cameroonians heartbreaking and frustration. The more, I guess we should just focus on our struggle, Amazonian issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Calling from where, sir?
Calling from Maryland, Sebastian Barrico.
Oh, Sebastian Barrico. Okay, all right. What is your contribution,
yes,
sir?
Thanks, everybody there. The panel is doing good. All the panelists are doing great, especially my man, Mike. I have a concern. My concern is we need to be patient. I disagree with everybody that is saying Tchiroma is failing. Remember, we are dealing with a dictator here. Inaugurating Tchiroma is not the end. It's not all. After the inauguration, what next? Because once you are inaugurated, you need to start take action. And if you take action and these actions are not enforced, you become like a user, like you are nobody. So what I think Tchiroma and the team they're trying to do is they want to put a system in place that after the inauguration, when he gives orders, these orders are executed. When they say they are putting logistics together, we don't know what logistics they are putting together. Maybe it's military logistics, maybe part of the ministers he's going to appoint, because once he's inaugurated, he is going to put up a cabinet. Why don't we think that some of the ministers he want to bring into his cabinet are ministers that are in the Republic government? And these ministers have to get a secure place before they are being announced. Why don't we think about things like that? Eric Chinji is, I don't think Eric Chinji is going to fall into something that is going to be a scam. So let's give them benefit of doubt, but let us be optimistic. Thank you. Thanks for the job you're doing. Thank you.
All right, we hear you. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Thank you for the call. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Yaoundé. I'm Divine calling from Yaoundé.
Okay, and what is your contribution and how is Yaoundé looking today?
Yaoundé was just called this afternoon because Mr. President was busy in the parliament. But everything is moving fine in Yaoundé, as I can say for now.
How did Ghost Town proceed in Yaoundé?
In Yaoundé, we only had some, the market were closed, but in some quarters, all shops were open. Only the main markets were closed in Yaoundé. The 3 days Ghost Town, that's what I observed in Yaoundé.
Okay.
The main markets were closed. Yeah, for the main markets like Mokolo, Marché Central, those markets were closed for the 3 days. But the taxis and students went to school. All those, everything was okay. Everything was like okay, but it was not really okay.
So what is on your mind today, sir?
Secretary, please, and Ambazonians, please listen to my voice as you used to say, Secretary Chris. Mr. Tchiroma is a federalist. He has openly told us that he is a federalist. That's clear. But we Ambazonians, we are people who need to push what we want in their throat. The Republic is a violent government. They never, when this crisis started, they never wanted to talk about federalism. Federalism was a taboo.
Mm-hmm.
Our flag was a taboo. That word Ambazonia was a taboo. Even to call what Ambazonia army was a taboo to them, but we had to force it through their necks. So what I was proposing is that the idea of Ambazonians having their ID card is the best. That will confuse them more because it will be a taboo, but at the end of the day, they will swallow the bitter pill.
All right. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Secretary Chris.
Yes, ma'am. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Finland.
From Finland. Okay. And what is on your mind?
Yeah, I hear people saying Tchiroma is ignorant and this. I think we should give him a benefit of doubt. You know, now it's a very terrible moment in Cameroon. Like, he needs to strategize. He doesn't just need to make hasty decisions because people are telling him to be sworn in. I think he has to have a plan before doing that. So I don't think it's fair for us to come and judge him or that because we Cameroonians want change. But when he even talked about the ghost town, some people were not even ready to sacrifice to close their shops. When they say people should go to the street and march, we see very limited crowd. Like Cameroonians want change, but they don't want to fight for it. It's not easy to have change.
No, you are absolutely right. Absolutely right. In fact, I think myself, I was a bit disappointed at the ghost town that I saw. Not as much as what you will find in Ambazonia. When we say ghost towns in Ambazonia, the place is shut down, the streets are empty. But I saw shops open in Douala, Yaoundé. I think the only place that really obeyed, respected it was Bafoussam, Bunda, Chang, and then the north. But Douala...
Yeah, because we say we want change in Cameroon. What are the Cameroonian people doing for the change? What are they doing? They need to also stand up and work hard and stop waiting for Tchiroma.
But then, if you also look at it from this angle, Biya'S has been sworn in. Tchiroma ordered for a ghost town. The ghost town was over yesterday. Biya'S sworn in today. Don't you expect that it is legitimate for people to expect him to come out and address them at least today?
Yeah, I've also been waiting for him to come out and address us. Like, I was also worried about that. But why don't we just think he has a plan and we trust him? We are the ones that choose him to like be the transitional president. Why don't we just wait and see what he's planning and stick with him? Because there's one thing I noticed with Cameroonians: they give up so easily. Yeah. They don't have a fighting spirit, just like same thing that is happening in Ambazonia.
No, I think Ambazonia has a fighting spirit for two.
Yeah, like that's why I'm proud to be an Ambazonian, because we've resisted for nine
years. For 2 cubes of sugar to have stayed undeserved for 9 years, that is true resistance.
That's true, Comrade Chris. But do you think these French-speaking people have that fighting
No, they
spirit?
don't.
Because
they
I
don't.
just saw it from the ghost town and the march.
Yes.
Like we saw what happened in Nepal, in Madagascar. Everybody came out. The youths were ready, but I don't know.
Well, the thing is that you know that when you talk of francophones, we are talking of the Bassas, the Bamilikis, and stuff. But then when you narrow it down, they're not ready to fight. Bastards don't fight for anything. They
But
believe
they are suffering,
they
so I don't know if
believe
they really want change, or I don't know what they want.
they
I
believe
don't know.
they already have the infrastructure, right? Douala is there. The Bamili kids that really don't want to fight because they don't want their businesses gone or touched. The only person among the only
Chris,
person
I just plead with us Cameroonians to give Issa Chiroma the benefit of doubt.
yeah,
But
you
we
mean
should
you
wait.
Cameroonians, we are Amazonians, you know that, right?
Yeah, Comrade Chris, when they are fighting over there, it's affecting us in Amazonia.
You are right. I agree with that. But
It's affecting us, so we cannot just sit quiet and say, yeah, we are Amazonian and we don't care about that.
that is why we are talking.
It's affecting us.
That's why we are talking about it on a daily basis here. So thank you for the call.
Thank you, Comrade Chris.
All right. Okay, I will take one more call, and I will end the calls. Hello. All right. Hello.
Hello, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Ground Zero, especially Moyoka.
Moyoka, okay, and
I want to say something. I want to say something concerning this Tchiroma's issue. I'm talking in the perspective of God's plan for these people. I just gave you sending a note there. God is doing something that is beyond human comprehension. We don't understand what is happening. Tchiroma would have been the rightful president before they speaking it out. You know, in Cameroon, when the chief is
are you trying to say that God told you something?
God showed me 4 years ago how Tchiroma was chased.
How did he show you?
In a dream.
Okay.
I'm a pastor.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
He showed me how he was chased, and he narrowly escaped because they wanted to even kill him. Even his tribesmen were even following him to kill. But Anglophone, Christians helped him. So what I am seeing in my own eye, he has already not told him.
No, I don't want to be that pessimistic. I don't want to be that pessimistic. I think the calls here are divided on giving him time to see what he does, and others saying he's supposed to have done something. I think I agree much more with those who say, let's give him a little time. Let's give him a little time to see what he comes up with. So listen, hold on. So when you come here saying that God told you or you saw it, I am totally in disagreement. Where were you 4 years ago? Why didn't you come up with that message?
I didn't want to talk anyhow.
And 4 years ago, he was not even in the limelight. You know that. 4 years ago, he wasn't in the limelight.
He was a man who started to say the Amazonians are terrorists.
Okay. Thank you for the call.
And now God has to punish.
Hello.
Good evening, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Nigeria.
50 seconds, sir. What is on your mind?
Yeah, I wanted to say that people should bear in mind that life is spiritual, and when people give in their own contribution concerning what is happening in the Republic, we should take it into consideration. These guys are not just fighting physical battle; they are fighting a spiritual battle. So we should bear in mind that people has to go the spiritual will. And then to talk about what people have been saying about swearing in, it's no longer about swearing in. Issa Tchiroma, it should be about weapons. It's not only about swearing in. They need to go physical. They need to go spiritual. They need to pick up arms. This government, the La Republic government, you cannot use
think I lost that caller. Hello. I lost that caller. Hello. Hello.
No. Good evening, please.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from? Can you raise your voice a bit, please?
Japan. From Japan.
From Japan. Okay, 50 seconds. So what is on your mind?
Yes, I think what is my mind is for those who are trying to blame Tchiroma for now. The one thing we should remember: Tchiroma is a Muslim. There are three people who have so far openly defeated Biya in the ballot box. One was Fundi, Kamto, and now Tchiroma. Tchiroma is a Muslim, and Fundi stole it for Biya, for his personal pocket, and Kamto and his people fear that their businesses were going to be crumbled. They stay the back of. Tchiroma is a Muslim, and we know how Muslims are. One thing is that Tchiroma uses Quran, and Sundi and Kamto, they go to church, they use the Bible. Quran, if what they believe in is that if you slap me, I'll slap you back. We should not only limit our thoughts and our thinking to like try to compare Tchiroma and Sundi and Kamto. No, Tchiroma is a Muslim. That's what we should take note of. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Last caller here. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, you are the last caller, sir. What is on your mind and where are you calling from?
I'm Peter. I'm calling from Turkey.
Okay, what is on your mind, sir?
First of all, I just want to be glad that Tchiroma is okay, and I strongly want to say, for at this moment, let everyone just stand behind him and wait and see the actions, see the plans that he has in action. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Okay, gentlemen of the panel, I think the opinion is divided here in those on the side of Tchiroma taking his time. I think they win the day. Am I wrong? You listen to all the calls.
If I may go first, Chris, maybe as also a conclusion. This is my assessment. As someone who has observed and practiced and participated in politics, or observed the political situation in the entire Cameroon, this is my take. When it comes to Tchiroma, Tchiroma has failed. Simple, pure simple. The expectation that Tchiroma was going to deliver, let's keep that aside.
Don't you think it's too early to? Don't you think that is an overstatement to say he has failed categorically? I mean, it's too early.
Let me come. Even if it is too early, prior to today's inauguration of Paul Biya, Tchiroma could have issued a statement or sent out a broadcast challenging.
That I totally agree.
Let me learn, Comrade Chris. Let me learn. When I come up with this assessment that Tchiroma has failed, it is just it completely. One, the machine, the diplomatic machine behind Yaoundé stability is France. Do you think that France just signed an extension of 34 to 30 something more years to exploit the resources from La Republic of Cameroon or from the Cameroon? Do you think France is about to let go, taking that France is losing almost all of the CFA zone in Africa?
Does that matter? You think if Tchiroma took over? Hold on there about France signing whatever to exploit Cameroon. Does that even matter? If Tchiroma were to take over, you think he would take food out of the mouth of the French? They would do the same thing with him.
Let me learn now, Mr. Chris, Comrade Chris. The reason why France will do everything possible to deter Tchiroma from taking office, because they are not about to let that go. Okay, do you know what must have transpired behind? French diplomatic offense is so poisonous, very, very deadly that they can do anything. So I'm taking a lot of things into consideration here. One, Chiroma's age. The question you ask yourself to understand that it has failed completely: has he issued a statement since Biya'S inauguration today? No. So what do we expect out of him again? That I'm coming to nail a strategy. I'm going to put I'm putting logistics in place. What sort of logistics are you putting in place? When people like Yaoundé is drinking from a large well, clean water, you don't have to go and block it, go and dirty the water so that nobody drinks from it. That's how you cause chaos in Yaoundé. That is what Tchiroma could have done as a step toward to telling Yaoundé that I'm coming and I'm coming big. So he did nothing, said nothing, and Yaoundé is sitting there tranquil. Like I said, the next move Yaoundé is going to take is going to be very aggressive now. I didn't look 2 days ago. Ferdinand Gongo bought an equipment to track members that are communicating with Tchiroma. I mean to track. We heard it clean and clear. So the next thing is target arrest. Now they have even changed position. I mean, demoted some armies and even increased some their ranks, transfer some to areas that they don't even have guns again. So that is what is going. That is how the regime is going to operate. So when it comes to Tchiroma, they are going to tell him, "Listen, pa, you know you are sick. You are 80 something years old. How long do you have to live? How much strength do you have to battle?" The other caller was saying that Tchiroma is a Muslim. Muslim don't lie. The Tchiroma lied. He escalated the war in southern Cameroon. As a result, people died. So when I say let's count Mr. Tchiroma out, why should we be giving him hope to what? Give him time for what? I don't see it. Giving him time so that Ambazonian just let their guards loose and then they strategize in the Republic of Cameroon. Biya is being bent on that. He's going after those in the diaspora who are sponsoring the war. And he's thankful to friendly nations that have arrested Ambazonian and locked them. Ayabacho is now in detention for close more than 1 year. Has he been charged? Has he been indicted? No. Some are in the state the same. In Yaoundé behind in Kondengi, the Siseko team and so many, there are thousands of them there in detention. Have they been released? No. So the strategy Biya is going to come in right now is going to be very aggressive towards everybody. And
All
that's
right,
all I
let's
can say
get
for now.
to let's hear from
Tchiroma is out.
Mike Fusi, please.
Yes, Comrade Chris. I have listened to the comments from those who call in and some on the chat. Now, this is what I have to say. I would like to be very emphatic here. I would like to be very emphatic. And I would like to agree that, okay, let's give Tchiroma some time. But whatever time Tchiroma has is running fast. It's really, minutes are dying down to, hours are dying down to minutes, and he needs to do something not too long from now to restore the confidence of his followers. Because like I mentioned previously, you need to ride the wave when it's high. Now, but let me be very emphatic. Whatever Tchiroma is planning, whatever he is planning, better include a military option. I want to be as emphatic as I can be. Whatever he is planning should better include a military option. If that is why he is taking his time to come out, then it will make sense. But if he has to take this time just to come out and make a statement without the means to enforce whatever he is saying, then this would have been a complete waste of time. I will agree with others that let's give him the time. But whatever he's planning better have some meaning and some backbone. Now, to the rest of the La République de Cameroon citizens, especially those who may become complacent, may think that, oh, it's time to just relax and go back to their normal affairs. Let me tell you this. If you thought the situation was bad before, be ready for the worst if Paul Biya should be maintained again as your president. If Paul Biya should be maintained again as your president, but I'm talking to La République de Cameroon because as for Ambazonians, we have already taken our destiny into our own hands and we are willing to shape it as it needs to be shaped. To La République de Cameroon, be prepared for the worst. If they click, that is currently in control of your country is allowed to stay, the days ahead will be more miserable for the Republic of Cameroon citizens. That is a fact. Now, given Biya'S advanced state of mental decay, this is one other thing that's going to happen. If manages to hang on, he himself will not hang on for too long. In the days ahead, something will happen, and Biya will have to give up power. Either Ngongo will take over, Frank Biya will take over, or there may even be a military option within La Republic of Cameroon, apart from Tchiroma, that may come in to assume power. These are the options that will emerge in the days ahead if Paul Biya should be maintained, or if Tchiroma should fail to dislodge the bunch of vultures that have been sucking that country dry for so long. If Biya should hang on in the days ahead, Biya himself will no longer be the president. Somebody else will step in, somebody younger. And when that happens, a repeat of what Biya has done for the past 40-something years will start all over again. Because some will become complacent and will say, oh, after all, the person who just came in now is much younger. Let's give him a chance. And the cycle will start all over again. And for the next maybe 30 or 40 or who knows how long, they will continue to squalor in this misery. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this to us Ambazonians. I'm saying this to us Ambazonians to understand what the stakes are in La Republic of Cameroon if Tchiroma fails to do the needful to dislodge these people. And that is the reason why we as Ambazonians must come back home and focus on what we started 9 years ago and make sure we get it finished. Because even if Viet should manage to hang on, La Republic will not be as cohesive as it was before. And that still gives us an opportunity and a reason, after all, because there will be no compromise coming on the part of the government that will hang on in La Republic of Cameroon towards us Ambazonians as regards any meaningful solution or negotiation that can resolve our grievances that we had from the start of this conflict. It will not happen. You listen to Pobia today. He was all combative and insultive as usual. There was no tone of outreach. As we say, he is trying to see how he can maybe appease those who have had grievances with him for all this time. There is no indication of that. So we must stand the course. We must come together and strategize on how to take our fight to the logical conclusion, which is the liberation of the Southern Cameroon and Virginia. So that is what I see in the days ahead. That is what I see. The situation looks bleak. Will Tchiroma rise up to the occasion and do the needful? In the next few days, we are going to know. And time is running out, and it's running out really fast.
Okay, let's go last to Shay Tata. Your last thoughts on this line of conversation we are having, please.
Thank you again for another chance given me. I want to take us back to before the elections. There was an action that took place in a corner in Fako County. I think one of the most deadly attack that we had recently, where about I think 11 soldiers were killed. Do we remember that incident? If you look at how it was before the election, people didn't even share that attack as much as they shared the attack of yesterday. And I'm coming to it because this one, we had only 4 soldiers killed and 4 guns collected. And that one, we had about 11 and a lot of materials collected. Now, when you look at what happened at that time, before the elections, where people were still scared to talk, and compared to what happened yesterday, you will see even the number of French citizens that shared the attack of yesterday were even more than the Amazonians. And even those who shared them, if you go and look at the comments, there was you could hardly find a negative comment. It was only, yes, kill them, do this. But before, they will call us terrorists. That's why Biya'S has to send more soldiers to go and kill these terrorists. But yesterday, because of the thirst for that change that they need, they are even saying it is that same military that is dying for the old man, that is dying for Biya'S, that is going to kill civilians, and so on. What I'm trying to put across here is that when you look at that tension, that swift, that change, where people are yearning for change, and people were expecting part of that change, which is a process, to start today, and they didn't get it. They got disappointed. And we are not saying that, well, I wouldn't use the strong word that Tchiroma has felt, like my colleague Maitre has said, but I will say that what we have been expecting, and it was the expectations of everyone, and Mr. Chingy was also on TV saying that this will happen, though he didn't say when, saying it's still not going to happen. It was actually what we are trying to let the people know is that people expected Tchiroma to utter a word today. And the day is gone. I'm not sure he's going to issue another word this night. And that is why people are asking for time. But who was going to ask for time? It was Tchiroma who was supposed to come to tell people, I am re-strategizing, I am strategizing, I am doing this, stay calm, I will be back. People will get assured, but people are now in a suspense. They don't even know what next. So when people say that we shouldn't say this, I think it's the right of the people to know what next to take. As a leader, he is there to lead, not to sit quiet and confuse the civilians. And that is my last word on it. I don't know if we're going to get another chance to say a thing. I want to keep it brief because I have
go on.
I have a short appeal which is not directly linked to Chiroma's case. That's why I want to know if we're going to get a minute. Okay, so I want to appeal on all Amazonians, like the battles we've been fighting for long. I think especially, I'm not saying all diaspora, part of some diaspora people have really been divisive, and I am appealing to them to help unite these fighters on the ground than separate them, than divide them. There's a common phenomenon that is something that we keep doing all the time, that these fighters will struggle, they will go have an attack, have a battle somewhere, and some are sitting in the diaspora and only stealing these battles and claiming them, writing these forces. I think the best thing we do is to stop this. We need to stop this and call it doesn't matter which fighters go out to fight. Call them if they are not your fighters and congratulate them.